Ladies and gentlemen, I got news for you, and I want you to hear me with your spirit. The wealthiest spot on this planet is not the oil fields of the Middle East. It's not the diamond mines of South Africa. It's not the gold veins of South America. It is not Silicon Valley with all its code and capital. The wealthiest address on earth is not far from your house. It's behind iron gates, under trim lawns, beneath carved stones and quiet trees. It is the cemetery. The cemetery is loaded, it is heavy, it is overcapitalized with treasure that never saw daylight, and I refuse for you to become one more deposit. Write this down. Under that grass are dreams that were never fulfilled, books that were never written, businesses that were never launched, songs that were never sung, strategies that were never tried, solutions that never got a prototype, symphonies that died in a throat, movies that never left a laptop, ministries that sat in notebooks, and inventions that decayed with their inventors. Write it down again so you can feel it. Cemeteries are libraries of unwritten volumes, banks of unspent capital, museums of masterpieces never unveiled. People didn't just die there, they died full, tragically full. Scripture does not negotiate with this reality. Ecclesiastes 9:10 says, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave where you are going. Did you hear that? Where you are going. Psalm 90:12 pleads, teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Wisdom is counting. Wisdom is finishing before the counting runs out. Wisdom refuses to subsidize the cemetery. So our agenda today is not entertainment. It is a decision. I want you to write this down. Before you die, finish it. Say it with me. Let the air hear you. Let your fears hear you. Let delay hear you. Before I die, I will finish it. Again, before I die, I will finish it. Now, one more declaration to make it public. I will not add to the wealth of the cemetery. Come on, say it like an oath. I will not add to the wealth of the cemetery. Give yourself permission now. Your undertaker can bury your body, but he must never bury your vision. The coffin is not a filing cabinet for your manuscript. The tombstone is not a portfolio for your business plan. The grave is not a vault for your melody. Hear me, your life's assignment must be completed before your burial. This is not arrogance. This is obedience to the one who put the assignment in you. The Creator loaded you with an answer for a problem in time, and time is moving, and the cemetery is waiting, but you will not pay it with your gifts. Are there eagles in this room? Then lift your head and decide now. Write it down, speak it out, set it in your soul. I will not donate my gifts to the grave before I die. I will finish it. Now let me correct your fight and save your life. I got news for you. Your greatest enemy is not the devil, it is delay. Please write this down. Procrastination is the silent assassin of destiny. It does not kick your door in. It sits in your living room and makes tea, and it nods politely, and it says tomorrow. Delay is a thief dressed in wisdom, a robber dressed in perfectionism, a bandit wearing a busy schedule. It steals years in small, polite seconds. It is not one catastrophic event that murders destiny. It is a slow leak of daily postponements. You don't drown in one wave. You drown by staying under 1 second too long, one breath too late, one decision deferred. The devil announces himself with noise and intimidation, and Scripture already settled him. Luke 10:19, behold, I give you authority over all the power of the enemy. And James 4:7, resist the devil and he will flee from you. That is authority. But listen to me carefully. The devil is defeated by authority. Delay is defeated by decision. There is no verse that says resist tomorrow and tomorrow will flee. The Bible says today, if you hear his voice, harden not your heart. Hebrews 3:15. Proverbs 27:1 warns us, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. Tomorrow is not a strategy. Tomorrow is an excuse in a tuxedo. I want you to write this down and circle it 3 times. Delay disguises itself as wisdom, perfection, and busyness. I'm waiting for the perfect time. That is perfection talking, and perfection is procrastination with makeup on. I need more information. Be careful, that might be fear calling itself research. I'm so busy. Busy doing what? Guarding the comfort that keeps you from the calling that keeps you alive. He that observes the wind shall not sow. He that regards the clouds shall not reap. Ecclesiastes 11:4. If you keep watching the weather of your emotions and the climate of other people's opinions, your seed will rot in your pocket and your field will remain a promise instead of a harvest. Some of you are not oppressed by demons. You are negotiated to death by delays. Delay will tell you when the children are older, when the market is calmer, when I'm less tired, after the holidays, after the promotion, after the degree, and you stack tomorrows until you build a staircase to the cemetery. But not you, not anymore. I want you to open your mouth and say this with me. Say it like a verdict over your life. My enemy is my delay, not my destiny. Again, louder. My enemy is my delay, not my destiny. Destiny is not lost in an earthquake. It is lost in a calendar that never says today. Decision is the doorway through which authority walks. Choose this day whom you will serve. Joshua 24-15. Choose this hour to move the first brick, make the first call, schedule the first draft, send the first invoice. Authority binds the enemy. Decision binds the clock. One more time, and let it break the paralysis in your bones. My enemy is my delay, not my destiny. Now decide. Identity precedes activity. Please write that down. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. If you think like a pigeon, you will peck all day and never fly. If you think like an eagle, you will rise on currents others complain about. I got news for you. Your schedule will always submit to your self-definition. You cannot outwork a broken identity. You must outgrow it. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. Transformation is not first in your calendar. It is first in your calling yourself by your true name. Write this down and underline it twice. Eagles fly alone. Pigeons love crowds and crumbs. Say it with me. Eagles fly alone. Again, eagles fly alone. Pigeons gather in noisy circles waiting for someone to drop yesterday's bread. They live by reaction. They gossip. They scatter at shadows. They celebrate crumbs as if they were covenants. But eagles rise in silence. They choose height over hype, substance over spectators, and vision over volume. The eagle's altitude is not an accident. It is an identity. Your self-definition sets your speed to finish. If you call yourself busy, you will peck. If you call yourself builder, you will soar. Are there eagles in this room? Then I want you to join me at the top. Lift your head and answer me out loud. I am an eagle, not a pigeon. Again, louder. I am an eagle, not a pigeon. The Creator compared those who wait on him to eagles, not to pigeons. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. And they shall walk and not faint. Isaiah 40. Mount up is identity, language, decide who you are, and your legs will find the run. Your lungs will find the breath. Your calendar will find the hours. Pow! Now set a boundary and write this down. Stop seeking approval. Eagles are not distracted by pigeons, ducks, or vultures. Ducks make noise but never leave the pond. Pigeons beg for crumbs and opinions. Vultures feed on dead things. That's why they are so ugly. If you keep company with scavengers, you will smell like yesterday. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. 1 Corinthians 15:33. Approval addiction is gravity. Identity is lift. Tell your neighbor, my destiny does not need your permission. Say it again. My assignment is not up for a vote. Scientists tell us an eagle can see nearly 5 miles. That's why it doesn't chase every flutter in the bushes. Vision filters distraction. Write this down. When you know who you are, you know what not to answer. From today forward, refuse the crumbs of validation. Refuse the chatter of the courtyard. Refuse the committee of pigeons pecking at your dream. Choose the eagle identity now. Because the moment you rename yourself, your pace accelerates. Identity sets altitude, altitude sets speed, and speed beats delay. Open your mouth and seal it. Before I die, I will finish as an eagle. Now that you have chosen the eagle, let me put a clock in your talons. Please write this down. Vision without a clock is fantasy. Say it with me. Vision without a clock is fantasy. An untimed dream is a decorated delay. Identity sets altitude, yes, but altitude is measured in hours, not in hype. The psalmist prayed, teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Number is a verb. Wisdom counts. Eagles count. Pigeons complain. I got news for you. If you cannot show me your dream on a calendar, it is not a vision, it is a wish hiding from responsibility. Let's do holy math. In the next 12 months, you will receive 8,760 hours. You will sleep approximately 8 hours a day, about 2,920 hours. You will work your job roughly 2,000 hours. Commute, hygiene, meals, errands, call it 700. Church, service, family events, and the sanctified joy of being human, another 400. That leaves you somewhere near 2,700 hours. But listen carefully, those are not focused hours, those are leftovers. Now subtract your scrolling, your television, your opinion debates, your unplanned emergencies, and procrastination disguised as research. What is left? Don't guess, write it down. If you gave your assignment 10 hours a week, that is 520 hours in a year. If you committed 15 hours a week, that is 780 hours. Tell me what 520 hours of focused writing, designing, rehearsing, prototyping, calling, and building would produce. Books are born in 300 hours. Products are prototyped in 200. Curriculums are drafted in 150. Your problem is not capacity, it is calendar. I want you to write this down and circle it. Time is the currency of destiny, and you are either investing it or donating it to your depression. Binary choice. Use your hours for depression or for altitude. Depression replays losses. Altitude repurposes them. Depression is time spent rehearsing captivity. Altitude is time spent rehearsing calling. Be not deceived. Your feelings follow your focus. Ephesians 5:16 says, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Evil days will default your schedule into distraction if you do not redeem it into destiny. Decision time. Pull your future out of someday and put it on a day. Allocate sacred, non-negotiable finishing blocks on your calendar now. Name them eagle blocks. 2 hours before the world wakes, 3 evenings a week, 1 long Saturday block. Count them, protect them, publish them to yourself. Close the door, silence the phone, tell the pigeons you are at altitude, put it in ink, not in intention. Everyone say schedule is spiritual. Again, schedule is spiritual. What is not timed will die unfinished. The grave is full of untimed visions. So here's your activation. Choose your number: 520 hours, 780 hours, 1,000 hours in the next 12 months, and book them like flights you cannot miss. To everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under the heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Your purpose requires time, not talk. Open your mouth and seal it. I translate vision into hours. I redeem my time. I finish before I die. I got news for you, and I want you to write this down in bold letters. Delay sends invoices. Postponement is not neutral, it is compounding. Every day you push your assignment to tomorrow, interest is added. Energy interest, relationship interest, relevance interest. The longer you wait, the more expensive it becomes to do what would have been easier, cheaper, and cleaner last month. Delay taxes your motivation. Your zeal decays. Your confidence devalues. Your net worth forgets. Your market shifts. What you could have built with 1 hour of courage last quarter may now require 3 hours of recovery, 2 apologies, and a public explanation. That is delay's invoice. Listen to me, opportunities have shelf lives, windows close, mentors move, markets pivot, algorithms change. What is hot today is history tomorrow. Write this down. Some doors are time locked. Noah did not start building when it began to rain. Proverbs 10:5 says, he that gathereth in summer is a wise son, but he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causeth shame. Shame is the surcharge of a missed season. Jeremiah 8:7 declares, yea, the stork in the heaven knoweth her appointed times, but my people know not the judgment of the Lord. Even birds discern timing. Are there eagles in this room? Then honor the appointment. Your assignment is seasonal. Miss the season, miss the harvest. Delay also builds your relationships. Mentors who were ready to vouch for you last year may be in a new chapter this year. Favor is like dew pure, but it evaporates under a rising sun. The friend who believes in your prototype gets weary hearing the same promise with no product. Trust has a clock. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. Proverbs 13:12. And I add investors' hearts, spouses' hearts, your own heart. Postponement bleeds credibility until you can no longer afford the team you were born to lead. Please write it down. Credibility is cheaper to keep than to regain. Spiritually, timing is sacred currency. In due season we shall reap if we faint not. Galatians 6-9. Due season means there is a date on the harvest, and if you do not sow in the window, you pray in the winter for what only grows in spring. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Ecclesiastes. Beauty time becomes burden. Now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. 2 Corinthians 6-2. Not yesterday, not someday. Now is a doctrine. So let us expose the surcharge. Delay is billing you sleep. You don't have energy you can't replace. Friendships you can't afford to strain. Relevance you won't get back. And rent you will pay to fear forever. It is billing you late fees in anxiety, penalties in paralysis, and compound interest in regret. Market windows close. Favor expires. Mentors move on. Opportunity has a shelf life. Open your mouth and settle this account. I refuse to pay delay's invoice with my legacy. Say it again till your bones hear it. I refuse to pay delay's invoice with my legacy. Act while grace and windows are open. Send the email now. Make the call now. Set the date now. Spend the hour now. Destiny gives discounts to decisiveness. Before you die, finish the assignment in you without late fees. I want to show you the classroom where eagles graduate. And it is not a conference hall. It is a nest full of thorns and a sky full of storms. Please write this down. Discomfort is destiny's alarm clock. When the nest hurts, it's time to finish and fly. Deuteronomy 32:11 says, as an eagle stirreth up her nest, so the Lord alone did lead him. Are there eagles in this room? Then hear me as a father, and for a moment, as Mama Eagle, I came to stir your nest. Here's what the mother eagle does. She builds a wide, soft bed of feathers and fur for the eaglets, and they love it warm, easy, full of delivery service, and no responsibility. But when their wings are ready, she does not negotiate. She renovates. She pulls out the down. She exposes the bones and the thorns beneath. She makes comfort impossible. Why? Because if you can sleep in the nest, you will never see the sky. Some of you are wondering, why is my job poking me? Why does the place I once loved now feel like needles? I got news for you. You are being trained, not tortured. The thorns are not to kill you. They are to eject you into your assignment. Write this down. Storms aren't for depression, but for elevation. Say it with me. Storms are for elevation. The eagle is the only bird that loves a storm. While other birds hide, he faces the dark wall, opens his wings, and the very headwind others fear becomes the lift he uses to rise above the clouds. Isaiah 40:31 already told you, they shall mount up with wings as eagles. Headwind is not your enemy. It is your engine. The pressure in your calendar, the critique around your idea, the market resistance against your product, those are not signs to quit. They are winds to angle into. Pressure is not punishment, it's preparation. Please write that down and circle it. James 1:2-4 says, count it all joy, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Romans 5:3 adds, we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope. God is not mad at you. He is maturing you. The hammer on the sword is not hatred, it is shaping. Therefore, interpret discomfort as a divine nudge to finish, not a verdict to fold. When the nest of old routines pricks your skin, schedule the launch. When the storm of deadlines gathers, spread your wings. Use the pressure to publish, to prototype, to present, to press, send. Tell your neighbor, I will not misread my pain. Open your mouth and declare it. My thorns are my training. My storms are my staircase. My pressure is my preparation. One more time. When the nest hurts, it's time to finish and fly. Now fly. Principle number 1, and I want you to write this down in capital letters. The loneliness of focus. Eagles fly alone. Say it with me, eagles fly alone. If you cannot embrace holy solitude, you will never birth holy outcomes. Great work does not require constant conversation. It requires consecration. Jesus, the most productive life that ever walked the earth, often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. Luke 5:16. Mark 1:35 says, rising a great while before day, he went out into a solitary place. If the Son of God required solitude to finish his assignment, who are you to live in a group chat and call it productivity? Write this down. Meetings are where dreams go to get approval. Solitude is where dreams get done. Most meetings are therapy for people afraid to be alone with responsibility. Approval is sweet, but it does not move the brick. Focus moves the brick. Nehemiah said, I told no man what my God had put in my heart. Nehemiah 2:12. And he built a wall in 52 days. Why? Focus. Habakkuk 2:1-2. I will stand upon my watch, and the Lord answered. Write the vision. The watch is private. The writing is precise. Public noise produces private confusion. Private focus produces public completion. Now to practice. Schedule daily 90-minute solo flights, no phone, no feed, only the assignment. Please write that down and put a box around it. Every day, one consecrated 90-minute eagle block. Shut the door, airplane mode, notifications off, browser closed, headphones in if you must, but no songs with words that steal your words. Put the tools you need on the desk and evict everything else. No email, no messages, no quick check. Tell your neighbor, do not disturb my destiny. Say it out loud so your contacts can hear you in the spirit. I'm unavailable to average while I finish. Again, I'm unavailable to average while I finish. Focus is the runway where finishing takes off. You cannot lift if distractions are taxiing across your lane. Matthew 6:6 says, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, shut thy door. Shut thy door is a productivity verse as much as a prayer verse. Shut the digital door. Shut the relational door. Shut the emotional door. Protect those 90 minutes like a contract with your future. Do it at the same hour daily, early morning before opinions wake up, or late night after gossip goes to bed. Stack 5 eagle blocks a week, and in 12 weeks you will have 90 hours of undiluted altitude. That's a book draft. That's a product prototype. That's a curriculum born. I want you to declare this with me. My focus is sacred. My solitude is strategic. My finish requires silence. Are there eagles in this room? Then make the boundary visible. Respond slower. Decline politely. Disappear predictably. You are not rude. You are in the hangar fueling a launch. One more time, and let it settle in your spine. I'm unavailable to average while I finish. Now go to your watch, shut your door, and take off. Focus will carry you where crowds never will. Principle number 2, and I want you to get your pen because this is not a shouting point. This is a writing point. Put vision on paper and define done. Write this down. If it's not written, it can't be finished. Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, the people perish. And Habakkuk 2:2 declares, write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. Plain means measurable, runnable, transferable. If your dream is living only in your head, it is living in a fog. Ink is accountability. Tell your neighbor, ink is accountability. Vagueness is the enemy of victory. Say it out loud. Vagueness is the enemy of victory. Again, louder till the fog gets nervous. Vagueness is the enemy of victory. Luke 14:28 asks a brutal question. Which of you intending to build a tower, sit it not down first and counted the cost? Count means numbers. Finishers live by numbers. Define done with ruthless clarity. Page count, launch date, revenue target, student quota. Not I will write my book someday, but I will submit a 60,000 word manuscript by October 31, 6 a.m. Edited to Chicago style. with 18 chapters and 3 case studies. Not I'm starting a course, but I will launch a 1-2 module online course on June 15. On board 120 students at $299 with weekly live Q&A, 12 assignments, and a 90% completion rate. Not I want to grow the business, but we will generate $50,000 in new revenue by December 15 with 40 new clients. Average invoice, $1,250, collected within 21 days. Write this down and put a box around it. What gets measured moves. Break the whole into weekly milestones so your feet know where to land. A 60,000 word manuscript is 1,500 words a day, 5 days a week for 8 weeks plus 4 weeks of edit. 12 modules before June 15 becomes 2 modules drafted per week for 6 weeks and 1 beta cohort recruited by calling 10 prospects a day for 10 days. $50,000 before December becomes $6,250 a month for 8 months, which is 16 sales conversations a week at a 25% close rate, which is 4 closes weekly. That is not stress, that is a staircase. The moment you break mountain into steps, your legs start moving. Post your milestones where your eyes must answer them on the wall near your desk, on the fridge your family opens, in the calendar that beeps. Habakkuk said, make it plain that he may run that readeth it. If you can't run when you read it, it is not plain enough yet. Convert desire into deliverables, outlines, drafts, prototypes, calls, invoices, enrollments, checkable, trackable, non-negotiable. Commit your works unto the Lord, and your thoughts shall be established. Proverbs 16:3. Works on paper become thoughts established in progress. Open your mouth and seal this principle. If it's not written, it can't be finished. Say it again. Vagueness is the enemy of victory. Now, take your eagle block, pick the assignment, write the definition of done, and carve it into weeks. Clarity converts intention into completion. Before you die, document it, date it, and do it. Principle number 3. And I want you to write this down with fire in your pen. Test before you trust. Guard your time and guard your team. Eagles test before they trust. Say it with me. Eagles test before they trust. Again, louder. Eagles test before they trust. Trust is the product of time and test, not titles and talk. Please write that down and put a box around it. Matthew 7:16 says, you shall know them by their fruits, not by their followers, not by their flair. 1 Thessalonians 5:21 commands, prove all things, hold fast that which is good. Prove means test. Hold fast means keep what passes the test. Are there eagles in this room? Then stop hiring speeches and start auditioning fruit. Let me be Mama Eagle for a moment. The female eagle does not choose a mate because he looks sharp on a branch. She runs a test. She picks up a twig, she flies high, and she drops it. That male has to dive like a bullet and catch the twig before it hits the rocks. She does it again higher, faster again and again, for hours and sometimes for days. Why? She is not cruel, she is confirming character. If I entrust my future to you, can you catch what I drop when life gets windy? Write this down. Untested hands will drop your destiny. Luke 16:10 says, he that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. If someone cannot meet a small deadline, do not hand them the sacred assignment. Audit your circle this week. Please write this. Who accelerates my finish and who entertains my delay? Make 2 columns next to each name. Write accelerate or entertain. If every conversation with them becomes a therapy session for excuses, they are entertaining delay. If after they leave your calendar is clearer and your next step is dated, they accelerate finish. Amos 3:3 asks, can 2 walk together except they be agreed? Agreement is not smiles. Agreement is synchronized steps toward a defined done. Tell your neighbor, if we can't agree on done, we can't walk as one. Now, the practice, create agreements, deadlines, deliverables, and accountability rhythms. Every alliance must have a written scope, owner, outcome, due date, definition of done. Not design the website, but deliver a 5-page page responsive site by April 35 p.m. with copy finalized, 3 testimonials, checkout integrated, and load time under 2 seconds. Institute a weekly 30-minute stand-up. Each person reports in 1 minute what was promised, what was done, what is blocked, red, yellow, or green. Green celebrates, yellow escalates, red triggers a recovery plan with dates. Proverbs 20:6 says, most men will proclaim every one his own goodness, but a faithful man who can find? Agreements reveal faithfulness. Guard your time with protocols. Office hours for access. Communication channels by priority. Deposits before labor. Trial projects before commitments. Probation before partnership. 1 Timothy 5:22 says, lay hands suddenly on no man. Do not ordain what you have not observed. Be not unequally yoked with undisciplined calendars. A yoke ties your speed to their slowness. I want you to declare it with me. I will test before I trust. Again, trust is time and test, not titles and talk. One more time, unvetted company is the quickest path to unfinished. Guard your time, guard your team, and finish before you die. Principle number 4, and I want you to write this down with thunder in your ink. Love the storm, make deadlines your updraft. Scientists tell us the eagle does not dodge the storm. He stretches into it, angles his wings, and the very pressure others fear becomes the lift he uses to rise. Pressure creates lift when you lean in. Say that with me. Pressure creates lift when I lean in. Again, pressure creates lift when I lean in. Are there eagles in this room? Then stop praying for clear skies and start posturing for headwinds. Deadlines are wins. Lean into them. Write this down. A deadline is a destiny line you cross. Set it, announce it, honor it. Public deadlines convert invisible desire into visible demand. Ecclesiastes 5:4-5 says, when thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow than that thou shouldest vow and not pay. Announce your date. Name the launch day, the manuscript submission day, the first cohort start day, the product release day. Put it on the wall, on your website, in your email signature. Tell 12 people who love you enough to ask you every week, are you still on schedule? Accountability turns wind into wings. Now lean closer. This will save your legacy. Write this down. Ship a version before it's perfect. Perfectionism is polished procrastination. Say it with me. Perfectionism is polished procrastination. Perfection is a mask fear wears to keep you grounded. Philippians 3:14 declares, I press toward the mark, not toward the mirage. Press toward a date, release a draft, deliver a 1, refine in 1.1, 1.22. Faith without works is dead, James. And dreams without ship dates are too. Choose done over dazzling. Excellence is the child of iterations. Here is your storm practice. Choose a date inside 90 days, no further. Pay a non-refundable deposit on the venue or platform. Open registration before you feel ready. Pre-sale 10 copies or 10 seats this week. Book the photographer. Set the interview. Confirm the beta testers. Schedule the webinar. Put a countdown timer where your excuses can see it. Isaiah 50:7 says, I set my face like flint. Set your face, set your date, set your feet. The storm will come. Let it push you upward. Let me give you the holy binary, and I want you to write it in big letters. Use the storm for altitude or for anxiety. Choose altitude. Anxiety spirals. Altitude soars. Anxiety counts reasons. Altitude counts hours. Anxiety asks, what if I'm not ready? Altitude answers, I will be ready by that date. You will either let pressure paralyze you or you will assign it a purpose. Say it out loud. Pressure serves my purpose. From this day, deadlines are your friends. External commitments are your updraft. Announce your date. Invite witnesses. Make payment. Create consequence and fly into the wind. Open your mouth and seal it. I love the storm. I honor my dates. I ship before perfect and I rise on pressure. Again, with conviction, I choose altitude over anxiety. Now set the date before the sun sets, turn the wind into wings, and finish before you die. Principle number 5, and I want you to write this down with discipline in your ink. Train daily, small reps, big results. Consistency beats intensity when finishing is the goal. Say it with me. Consistency beats intensity. Again, consistency beats intensity. Anyone can sprint once, finishers show up daily. Luke 9:23 says, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily. Daily is the operating system of destiny. 1 Timothy 4:7 commands, exercise thyself rather unto godliness. Exercise means reps. Proverbs 22:29 declares, seest thou a man diligent in his business, he shall stand before kings. Diligent means dependable repetition. Are there eagles in this room? Then hear me. Wings do not get strong on conference day. They get strong in quiet, private flapping when nobody is clapping. Success is a result of a series of failures that were converted into feedback by faithful repetition. Please write that down. Proverbs 24:16 says, a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again. Rising again is a rep. Micro wins stack into mastery. 500 words today, 30 calls tomorrow, 45 minutes of rehearsal the next day, 1 prototype shipped by Friday. Do not despise small beginnings, Zechariah 4:10. Small is not weakness. Small is a seed. Eagles learn in increments first, the flutters on the edge, then the short drops, then the long glide, line upon line, precept upon precept, Isaiah 28:10. Finishing is not one moment. It is 1,000 moments trained into a straight line. Design your daily training loop. Plan, do, review, refine, repeat. Write that down and box it. Plan, do, review, refine, repeat. Give it 10 minutes at sunrise to plan. Choose the one most important deliverable, define done, and schedule the exact eagle block it lives in. Then do protect the block. Produce the artifact. No heroics, just the rep. Review 10 minutes at day's end. What did I promise? What did I produce? What blocked me? Refine, adjust tomorrow's plan with what you learned. That loop is a factory. Hebrews 5:14 says, by reason of use, we have our senses exercised. Use produces discernment. The more you loop, the smarter your feet become. Now, here's a metric that will save your sanity. Track inputs you control, not moods you can't. Please write this down. Feelings are weather, inputs are wheels. In all labor there is profit, Proverbs 14:23. Count hours worked, pages written, minutes rehearsed, calls made, proposals sent, sets completed, prototypes delivered. Put a daily scorecard on one sheet, H hours, W words, C calls, S shipments, green boxes for completion. At the end of 7 days, the green tells the truth. Moods lie. Math testifies. Build your streaks. Don't break the chain for 21 days. Extend it to 90. If you miss a day, miss one, never two. 1 Corinthians 9:27. I keep under my body and bring it into subjection. Discipline your body, and if necessary, discipline your device. Turn it off until the rep is done. Give us this day our daily bread, Matthew 6:11. It's not just a prayer for provision. It is a pattern for production. Today's bread must be baked today. Open your mouth and seal this. I train daily. My small reps create big results. Say it again. Consistency beats intensity. One more time with conviction. Daily discipline reps transform intention into inevitable completion. Now go do your rep plan, do, review, refine, repeat until finished. Principle number 6, and I want you to hear me like a father and a coach. Renewal cycles pluck, rest, and rise. When the eagle is exhausted, he does not fake strength. He retreats to a high, secure rock, faces the sun, and begins to pluck the old feathers that have collected dirt and drag. He will break off calcified beak tips on the stone, shake loose what cannot fly, and he waits. He waits for new feathers to grow, sleeker, stronger, lighter. Then, when the wind is right, he rises again with a lift that youth cannot outpace. Psalm 103:5 says, he satisfied thy mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed like the eagles. Write this down. Renewal is not laziness. It is maintenance of lift. Please write this and put a box around it. Rest is a responsibility, not a reward. Schedule recovery to protect velocity. Say it with me. Rest protects my speed. Again, rest protects my speed. The Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath. Mark 2:27. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Exodus 20:8. Holy means set apart. Set apart a weekly 2-4-hour Eagle Sabbath, a full day digital and decision detox where you cease producing, you cease deciding, and you let your nervous system remember God is God and you are not. No shipping, no selling, no scrolling, walk, worship, read, laugh, sleep. Hebrews 4:9 declares, there remaineth therefore a rest to the people of God. Rest is not optional for finishers. It is oxygen. Tell your neighbor, no rest, no wings. Now the plucking. Every week and especially every quarter, retreat to your high rock one morning a week for 2 hours and one full day every 90 days. Review your scorecard and pluck the feathers that drag. Outdated methods, bloated meetings, expired roles, toxic alliances, tasks you keep out of guilt. Old feathers create new friction. Isaiah 28:10 says, precept upon precept, line upon line, and sometimes that means line removed and line refined. Use a simple review. Stop, start, strengthen, simplify. Stop what drains without return. Start only what aligns with your defined done. Strengthen what is working. Feed the winners. Simplify what is cluttered. Reduce steps. Shorten forms. Automate handoffs. Habakkuk 2:1. I will stand upon my watch to see what he will say unto me. The watch comes before the writing. The plucking comes before the push. Order matters. Isaiah 40:31 is not random. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. Wait, renew, mount, not mount, then maybe renew when you crash. Wait first, be still, listen, breathe, scripture, receive correction. Renew second, sleep, stretch, hydrate, worship, forgive, unplug. Mount third, re-enter with a clear plan and a quiet soul. Write this down. Hurry without renewal is how good people quit. Here is your practice. Block your weekly 2-4-hour Sabbath in the calendar, now recurring, non-negotiable. Schedule a quarterly retreat, one day off-site with your journal, your numbers, and God asks 3 questions. What must be plucked? Where must I rest? When will I rise? Open your mouth and seal it. Strategic rest restores my lift. Renewal is part of finishing, not a break from it. Again, I will wait, I will renew, I will mount up. Are there eagles in this room? Then pluck, rest, and rise so you do not add your strength to the wealth of the cemetery. Principle number 7, and I want you to write this down like a covenant. Seed it, ship it, steward it. Completion births stewardship. Ship now, then refine into excellence. John 12:24 says, except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it bringeth forth much fruit. Vision that refuses to be planted remains a souvenir. Desire that stays in your head is a museum piece. Plant it. Release version 1. Books, businesses, ministries, classes, they must enter the earth to multiply. Genesis 8:22 promises, while the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest shall not cease. If you want harvest, you must respect seed time. Are there eagles in this room? Then hear me, the egg must crack, the eaglet must drop, the seed must leave your hand. Seed means you release a first form, not perfect, planted, not polished, placed. A manuscript sample to your list. A pilot session to 10 students, a prototype into a friendly market. Ecclesiastes 11:4 warns, he that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap. Waiting for perfect weather is how fields stay empty. Say it with me, plant the first form. Again, plant the first form. Your idea is not sacred until it is sown. Now ship, deliver to real people, because feedback is fertilizer. Proverbs 27:17 says, iron sharpeneth iron. Iron does not sharpen at a distance. It requires contact. Open your mouth and write this down. Done creates data. Data creates dominion. Say it again till your fear breaks. Done creates data. Data creates dominion. When you ship, reality speaks. You learn where they click, where they quit, where they cry. You learn what price they honor and what promise they ignore. Create a small beta 10 readers, 10 buyers, 10 users. Give them a deadline to respond, a form to fill, 3 questions. What helped? What hurt? What's missing? Feedback is not an attack, it's an investment. James 1:19, swift to hear, slow to speak, collect before you defend. Then steward. Finish is not a finish line, it is the beginning of faithful management. Matthew 25-21 declares, well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many. Rulership follows stewardship. Dominion follows data. Take what you shipped and iterate, fix the friction, enhance the strengths, remove the fluff, systemize what worked, document the steps, draft the checklist, record the template, automate the handoffs, assign the owner, set the review rhythm. Proverbs 27-23 commands, be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks and look well to thy herds. Your flocks today might be customers, students, units shipped, pages written, know their state. Excellence is not an event, it is a maintenance plan. Here is your practice, and I want you to execute it inside 7 days. Choose one seed and plant it. Publish the landing page, send the invitation to your first cohort, print the sample chapter and hand it to 5 strategic readers. Upload version 1 and open 5 page slots. Set a ship date within 14 days, no extensions. Collect feedback for 72 hours with structured questions. On day 4, steward, update the product, document the process, schedule the next release, and set a monthly review. Luke 12:48 says, unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. You have been given much, manage much. Open your mouth and seal it. I seed now, I ship now, I steward continually. Again, done creates data. Data creates dominion. One more time with conviction. Completion births stewardship. Ship now, then refine into excellence. Eagles plant the egg, push the drop, carry the fish to the nest, and then teach them to hunt. Do it now so you do not donate your unfinished gift to the wealth of the cemetery. Now we seal it. Covenant time. Hear the weight in my voice because heaven is recording and your future is watching. My greatest wish is to go to the cemetery completely empty, nothing left undone. Say it with me. Nothing left undone. Again, louder till your fear hears you, nothing left undone. Ecclesiastes 9:10 declares, whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. And Paul finished his course and said, I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. 2 Timothy 4:7. Finish is not a fantasy. Finish is a decision enforced by a covenant. Write this down. 1 assignment, 1 date, 1 daily block. Name it now. Not 10 assignments, not 17 side quests. 1 assignment that if it were completed in 90 days would move the mountain. Name the date, 90 days from today. Name the daily block, the sacred 90-minute eagle block that will host this assignment every day, same hour, same chair, same silence. Psalm 90:12 prays, teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Number 90, and then number the hours in those 90. Now, your 90-day finish plan, write these 3 M's, milestones, mentors, metrics. Milestones. Set a 30-day deliverable, a 60-day deliverable, and a 90-day deliverable. Day 30, first draft, prototype or pilot complete. Day 60, revision finished, beta delivered, systems in place. Day 90, public release, launch, submission, signed and sealed. Mentors. Choose 2 finishers, not fans, 1 subject mentor to refine the craft, 1 process mentor to police the calendar. Book your check-ins today, 20 minutes at day 21, day 49, day 77. Ecclesiastes 4:9 says, 2 are better than 1, for if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. Metrics, hours, outputs, and outcomes. Hours track the daily block, no green, no glory. Outputs, pages written, modules recorded, calls made, units shipped. Outcomes, sales secured, students enrolled, contracts signed. Put the score where your eyes can't avoid it. Fridge, mirror, homepage. Hebrews 12:1 commands us to lay aside every weight and run with patience the race that is set before us. The race is set by your metrics. Make it public. Vow a date before God and witnesses, because Ecclesiastes 5:4-5 warns, when thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it, better to not vow than to vow and not pay. Announce your 90-day finish to 3 people who love you enough to ask for receipts. Put a small painful consequence if you miss without a righteous cause. Attach a joyful reward when you hit. Turn your promise into pressure that lifts. Open your mouth and covenant with me. Before I die, I will finish it starting today. Tell your neighbor, before I die, I will finish it starting today. Again with your eagle chest. Before I die, I will finish it starting today. I choose one assignment, one date, one daily block. I choose milestones, mentors, and metrics. I choose the storm, the schedule, and the stewardship. I choose to die empty. Are there eagles in this room? Then lift your head and declare Isaiah 40-31 over your next 90 days. I will wait, I will renew, I will mount up with wings as eagles. I will run and not be weary. I will walk and not faint. Now sign the date, set the block, send the message, and start the clock so you do not donate your gift to the wealth of the cemetery.